Alright, so I got this is a duel from last night. This is the Inzektor Racoon hybrid that I played against. I'm using Devyn's deck. Um, so here we go. So he's going to open with Obedient Schooled. Of course, immediately I'm going to max C because I'm going to get at least a +2 off of that. Otherwise, all his monsters will die. So there's one, and then he'll sink out for Materia Beast, and I'll draw 2. Always nice to open with 7 cards. So I set just a whole lot of cards on the field because he's got that Materia Beast over there, and I don't want him negating all my fun times. So I draw, and I'm trying to bait out some of those face downs a little bit, before I do too much. But at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and end my turn with Madolche and Madolche Madolche in the field. I've got Angeli in hand. He's going to go ahead and set a whole bunch more cards. At this point, I'm like, alright, MST, the face down. He's like, Materia Beast. I'm like, yeah, how about this Fiendish Chain? Which means that you're going to mill. And I should have caught it earlier, but this is the first chance that I see that he has the Inzektor Sword Zeta Caliber in his graveyard there. And would have been nice to have realized that, but I didn't. So I'm going to sack off my Angeli, going to Hoot Cake's effect after the ticket, which of course he can't negate. But he's milling because I think he's trying to find a Hornet. Looking back at it now. So he tries to Fiendish Chain mine. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Lance. And he's like, okay, well then compulse it because he can't deal with tiramisu. And I'm like, you know what, that's fine. I don't even care that you did that because my Hoot Cakes hasn't used his effect yet, so I'm going to banish this Max C. Special Summon Madolche. That's going to get me in my Chateau. And at that point, like, I'm golden. So I'll run over his crappy little monster that's face down here. Always searching. And so now it's going to be his turn. Turn 7 now. So he draws into Torrential. Summons that Centipede. I'm like, yeah, forget that action. I know how Inzektors work. That's gone. He's going to go Soul Charge. So his Soul Charge, like the whole point of the Soul Charge, is to attempt to flood the field. And if you don't have a way to keep all this stuff alive that you're bringing back, though, it's kind of pointless because, like, you're going to have to take out everything I have plus, do stuff. So, like, yeah, so he ends up here, got that Dragonfly in hand. I know he has the Dragonfly in hand. Like, I know that going in. So I'm like, alright, I'm going to open up, I'm going to hit that face down because it's the only one I'd be worried about. It's a Torrential. Sack off Angeli for a Hoot Cake effect. Banish Angeli, special summon a message. Message's effect. Get my ticket back out. Activate it. Overlay for level 4 Tiramisu effect. And now we're going to start saying goodbye to his field. And of course, because I have ticket and Tiramisu on board, I can special summon Pudding Cess. With no monsters in my graveyard. Pudding Cess will swing over Centipede, her effect will activate. That'll pop his other monster. Now I'm going to run him down for 4,700 points of damage. I know that he's got that Dragonfly in hand, so as soon as he hits his standby phase, I just drop this Max C. Boom. Alright, do what you do. So he goes ahead, he's going to summon the Dragonfly, he's going to Hornet. Takes out my Tiramisu. Dragonfly's effect, special summons the Centipede. I get to draw. His effect on Hornet is going to take out Hoot Cake. Hoot Cake's going to come back to my hand, I think. That's what I did. Yep. And then Ticket's going to let me special summon Madolche. And he's going to go into Fortune Tune to defend himself. I get to draw. And then I draw into Valor, who cake effect one more time. And at that point he quit. And yeah, so unique deck, but in the end just way too much firepower coming from the Madolches.